Your financial goal might not be the first thing you want to think about on your 30th birthday, but it's worth spending some time checking your financial situation because it takes time and discipline to become money smart. You might think that you're still very young and invincible when you turn 30, which you are, don't get me wrong. But the truth is that you're almost halfway to retirement. And that is if your retirement goal is 65. In fact, over 40% of millennials in the US want to retire early. And in Europe, actually, many are leaving their job before the legal retirement age. So it's really important to think about a smart approach to money. Hi friends, if you're new here, my name is Larby, and on this channel, we will learn about personal finance. We'll talk about tools that help us live wealthier and most importantly, happier. Today in this video, I'll share with you 8 goals to reach before your 30th birthday. And if you are older, well, don't leave because that video is even more important for you. But before we start, please subscribe to my channel and smash the like button. That will help me a lot. All right, let's get to it. You know, if you don't want to think about your finances, I completely understand. It's easy to convince yourself that making a wrong decision will be worse than making a decision. But in reality, putting off those financial decisions for another day just puts you another day further away from your goal. So if you don't want to think about your financial future because it makes you feel overwhelmed, here's a good tip. Don't try to do it all at once. Instead, treat this like it's a year project and take it step by step. All right, here's goal number 1. Calculate your net worth. You need to know where you stand. We call that the net worth. This is simply the value of your assets, what you own, minus your liability, what you owe. It's not only a useful place to start, it's actually also a really good way to track your progress over time. You can do that in a simple spreadsheet. List the value of the things you own, for example, a house or a car, plus the money in all bank account and any investment. Then list your liability. For example, loans, credit card, student loans, money owed to parents, for example, etc. Now you subtract the liability from the assets to arrive at your net worth. When you are calculating that number, you might find that the total may be in the minus figures. Don't be scared. That's not uncommon. If you're young and have some student loan or are just starting to pay your mortgage, the important thing is to have a baseline from which you can improve. Here's goal number 2, pay off your debt. Here's a tip on how to approach this wisely. Find out the interest rate of each loan and tackle the one with the highest interest rate first. Once that's paid off, move on to the next highest interest rate loan, and so on. One way to do this is with a 0% APR credit card. While paying off debt with a credit card would maybe not be the smartest idea, it's actually worth it if you find one that has a 12-month interest-free loan at a minimum. Goal number 3, learn how to save. Having some savings at 30 is ideal, but also not that common. A study showed that over 70% of millennials have less than $1,000 in savings, no emergency fund, and no holiday fund. Here's a tip for you. You might have heard about the 50-30-20 rule. You spend 50% of your income on essential like rent and food, then 30% on entertainment, and 20% in savings and investing. Of course, you can change the rule a little bit to reach your personal goals. You can spend less on your needs, more on your savings, The key is to keep your needs and wants as low as possible, or doing your best to lower them over time to be able to increase your savings. A good rule is actually to never spend more than 30% of your income on housing. Goal number 4, organize your accounts. You should have at least 2 separate accounts, a savings account and a spending account. You want to do that because you don't want to use your savings when you're buying a coffee, for example. Ideally, you'll have a third account where you can save an emergency fund that should hold enough money to cover your expenses if you cannot work for 3 to 6 months, for example. Also, any banks nowadays make this super easy. You can create those accounts in seconds. Creating those accounts is a great tool for protecting the money from any temptation you may have. Goal number 5, negotiate your contracts. If you've been with your current phone, TV, or internet provider for more than a year, then you can negotiate a better deal. All it takes is a phone call saying you are looking to change provider. What you will probably find out is that they are willing to reduce your monthly bill to keep you. And when you are on the phone with them, change the date of your direct deposit. That way, all your bills will be paid at the beginning of the month, and you'll know what's left to plan the rest of the month. Goal number 6, work on your financial goals. During your lifetime, you will have different financial goals. In the short term, it might be a holiday or a new car, while in the long term, it might be buying a house or the education of your kids or your retirement. Each of these goals should be treated separately. For the short-term goals, you should put money away in a bank account because it's easy to access. For the long-term goals, you can think of investing to grow your money. And the longer the timeline, the more risk you can afford because you'll have more time to recover from any financial downturn. Goal number 7, get a life insurance. Life insurance is one of the most responsible things you will do as an adult, and it's cheaper than what you think. But it gives an amount of money to any dependent. In other words, if something happened to you, they will be taken care of. Also, if you are a freelancer or don't get sick pay from your employer, you should consider a disability insurance. This will make sure that you have some money coming even if you're sick. Goal number 8, become a minimalist consumer. It's good for the planet and good for your finance, and it makes sure that you buy things that will really bring you joy. Here's what I do. I wait 10 days before buying anything over $100. If I still want it after 10 days, then I just buy it. I do the same thing for smaller things, but I don't have to wait 10 days. For example, if this latte makes me happy for the day, I'll go for it. But if I stop enjoying it, I'll just stop buying it. Something like this could help you put $1,000 a year into something more exciting. You know, reaching your financial goal is a marathon, not a sprint. Remember, unless you win the lottery, you simply won't go from negative net worth to positive within days. Also, as you progress, it's important to realize and celebrate your wins along the way. Your 30s is a great time to be more serious about your future. Just take it one step at a time and do your best every day to reach your goal.